I'm no stranger to anime or VTuber conventions. I love visiting artist alleys and checking out panels from industry veterans and community members. But when I started falling headfirst into the trading card community, I realized I was missing out on participating in one of the most popular activities, attending a card show. I've watched a couple of vendor POVs on YouTube before and wondered what it was actually like attending one myself. So I found a local one that was happening pretty soon and started to learn more about the process. What did I do to prepare for the con? And what are some tips I learned so that you can get the best out of the experience attending one too? Like anime conventions, there are a wide variety of card show sizes. Collecticon is a nationwide trading card convention and does a tour by stopping at different states all year long at huge convention halls. Local card shows like CBC does one every month around the same area at a smaller venue. Pricing can also vary drastically, with smaller shows selling entrance fees for $5 and large ones can go up to hundreds depending on what the program is. They may also limit entrance numbers, so make sure you purchase your tickets as soon as you know you want to attend one. Most card shows also have vendors that sell collectible items, and you might also see handbags or sneakers at these shows. Even if the show only does trading cards, they may be specific to which brands are available depending on what vendors sign up. So try to look up past attendance by watching walkthroughs or vendor POVs to see if anyone is selling the TCGs you're looking for. For example, a show can have 80% baseball cards and only 10% of the vendors sell Pokemon. So you probably don't want to go for that one if you're looking for specific Pokemon singles. And speaking of singles, you gotta have a game plan on the day of the show. It would be most unwise to go to any convention without a game plan. Think about it like this. For artist alleys at anime conventions, you beeline for specific vendors that you've already scouted beforehand. Or else items might get sold out by the time you're at the front of the line. Otherwise, you would spend the first day or so looking at all the vendors and then come back a day or two later to buy it, if it isn't sold out already. For card shows, it's a little bit similar. The one I went to didn't announce which vendors were boothing, and it was a single day event. I had to look around at as many vendors as I can to see if they had the cards I wanted before the cards get snatched up by other people. So I made a visual list of the cards I wanted, mostly Glaceons of course, and then gave myself a maximum price I would be okay with to pay for the cards. Sticking to this rule was really important because most stalls only accepted cash or cash equivalent apps like Venmo. I kind of felt like a kid going into a candy shop and trying to maximize how much candy I can buy with the $10 bill my mom gave me. But you can technically buy cards with more than just cash. Something fun about card shows is that you can bring your collection to trade with the vendors. You can see collectors walking around with a locked box or a binder filled with cards that they want to trade off to make the purchases less painful on their wallet. If you want, you can even trade your cards in to purchase sealed products or packs if they're sold by the vendor. A lot of the sealed products I saw costed way too high though, like price gouging high. V-Star Universe was going for $180 when it can still be relatively obtainable at less than $100 USD. It's like at an arcade when you bring your tickets to the prize redemption area, fully knowing 100 tickets for a single eraser shaped like a milk carton is totally not worth it, but it's cute. Supposedly, you can offload a bunch of old cards or even products to vendors as they may be looking for products to sell. I don't have much knowledge in this area, but in case I ever wanted to leave the hobby, this would be potentially the place to make the deal. So the card show I went to was quite small and I didn't end up finding any cards I was looking for. In particular, I wanted a couple of raw Japanese cards, but either someone else has been swooping up all the Glaceons in my area, or it's just not a popular card to sell at shows. There were a bunch of Japanese cards available, but it's just not the ones I wanted. Graded cards are also out of my budget, as the price can be a couple of times higher than the raw card, and I'm not into that section of the hobby, at least not just yet. Even between vendors, I could see a couple of dollars of price fluctuations for cheaper full art illustrations, so it's definitely best to do a circle before settling on a vendor to buy the card from. Vendors usually have a few common displays: a glass case showing high-value graded slabs, a couple of binders of raw cards, packs and sealed products behind them, but it's somewhat hard to fully browse through each individual binder at any booth because of how they're laid out and how little space there was on the table. If I went to a larger show, I don't even know how I'll even make it to the front of the table. Sometimes I just peeked over someone's shoulder to see the cards as they flipped the binder. I also found several common vendor types that you'll see. Shop owners who are there to sell and to advertise their physical location, vendors who only do card shows or conventions, and individuals who happen to be local and want to sell their personal collection. There were also 1 or 2 stalls who had merch and crafts related to Pokemon, but it wasn't that many. Sadly, I didn't end up getting anything because I was strict on buying just the cards I decided before going. I did see some pretty cool stuff like the Unagaba packs, but for the price of one of these packs, I might as well just buy the Glaceon one online. Maybe next time I'll have more cards to trade in for something I like. I'll probably also try to go to a mid-sized show, but generally I do like the vibes of smaller sized conventions, though it really depends on the ventilation and how crowded the overall experience is. If you liked watching this video, check out this one about how to get the value of your cards to make a successful trade, or this one that's recommended for you. I stream pack openings for TCGs like Pokemon on Twitch, and if you want to support the channel, consider joining the membership or other ways listed in the description box below. Bye for now!